Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my great privilege to welcome you here tonight to our National Honor Society induction for L'Anse Creuse High School North. In just a second, we're going to have our new inductees filed. Let's have a big round of applause for all the students we're going to recognize tonight. And now we'll present to you the inductees of the National Honor Society for 2019.
Welcome to the 2019 induction ceremony for the L'Anse Creuse High School North chapter of National Honor Society. My name is Lisa McCumber, and I, along with my colleague Jim Ekdahl, am a co-advisor of NHS. I am thrilled to be the first to officially congratulate you on your acceptance into this prestigious organization. To give you an idea of the type of students we are honoring today, there were 148 current sophomores and juniors who met the NHS grade point minimum requirement of 3.3. Today, we are only admitting 68% of those academically eligible because this organization is about more than scholarship alone. As you will be hearing during tonight's ceremony, there are many reasons why this group of young adults is worthy of the honor of joining NHS. It is now my honor to introduce our principal, Mrs. Kimberly Roski. She is a well-known face at Crusader Nation, having been an assistant principal here for 6 years and the athletic director for 3 before she became our principal in 2017. She was also an LCN parent, as her daughters are graduates of our building. Please join me in welcoming Mrs. Roski.
Thank you, Ms. McCumber. Good evening and welcome to the 2019 National Honor Society induction ceremony. On behalf of the faculty and staff at L'Anse Creuse High School North, I'd like to extend a heartfelt congratulations to all the students sitting in front of me this evening. Your achievements in the realms of scholarship, leadership, and service, and character are being honored here tonight. This is a wonderful way for our school to recognize and celebrate the choices and sometimes the sacrifices that all of you have made. As Honor Society members, you are the leaders of your class and represent the very best at our school. As your principal, I believe that you and your parents should not just be proud of the actual honor itself, but also what you put into it. As Ms. McCumber stated, you maintained a minimum 3.3 GPA over the last year and a half, and were involved in at least one school-sponsored sport, activity, or club. In addition, there was nothing probably more important to you than what you gave back in your hard work and your service to the community. Tonight is an opportunity for you to relax, reflect on your successes, and celebrate your accomplishments. Let's give all of them a round of applause. Congratulations are also in order for our parents and our mentors of all of our inductees. Your unconditional love, guidance, and support, your encouragement throughout the years are big reasons why these students are sitting here this evening. You are helping to shape their future and lead them on a path to success. Speaking of the future, being a member of the National Honor Society will help prepare you for opportunities beyond high school. You will learn to serve the community. You will participate in at least 18 community service hours in addition to your graduation requirements. Some of you may even go above and beyond those requirements and commitment to helping others, and that will not go unnoticed. Some of you will earn other types of awards throughout the next couple of years, and you'll earn those awards because of your hard work and dedication. Tonight, I will share some special achievements that were recently brought to my attention. We have several seniors who are NHS members that have reached an amazing milestone: perfect attendance in high school. Now, think about that. 4 years, perfect attendance. That really takes hard work and focus. This feat really requires true perseverance. We also have a current NHS member, a young lady who was recently named with 6 other students from around the country as being a recipient of the 2019 Military Child of the Year Award. I wanted to take a moment and highlight these few seniors and their accomplishments as examples of the traits that the National Honor Society values in its members. Commitment to service, leadership, along with scholarship, I believe lead to great character. At L'Anse Creuse High School North, we strive to develop and support all of our students in all of these areas, as we believe that we are invested in building the next generation. My sincere wish for all of you here tonight is that you are a scholar for the sheer joy of learning. Education is so much more than getting straight A's. It is a lifelong love of learning. Decide you want to achieve academic success because you really want to learn something. Education gives us the knowledge and allows us to change the world into something better. Take pride in your accomplishments and continue to make your parents, teachers, and administrators proud. Congratulations to all of you once again. Now, I would like to introduce our guest speaker for this evening, Mr. John Allward. He has been an English teacher for almost 20 years. He has been a part of Crusader Nation since 1994. As a veteran educator, he is a true example of lifelong learner, growing professionally to do what is best for students. Mr. Allward truly embodies what it means to be a member of the National Honor Society. He makes a difference in the lives of his students, and he genuinely cares about each and every one of them. I'd like to share with you a message from a former student that I reached out to. And I quote when I say, "He saw something in me that I didn't even know I had." This student shared that Mr. Allward was always positive and upbeat when she was in his class. He was always encouraging and constantly reminding her of her growth that she had made in her leadership abilities. And that encouragement gave her the confidence that she took on to college and now she has taken on many leadership roles. Also, according to a staff member in the building, Mr. Allward always has a positive outlook in all he does. Even when things are not going as planned, he is really good at rolling with the punches and adapting on the fly. And last but not least, he says, his positivity is contagious. So please join me in welcoming Mr. John Allward.
God, I think with those kind words I can retire. It doesn't get any better than that. I want you to think for a moment about the following question. Are you the type of person with whom you would like to spend the rest of your life? This question has a paradoxical quality to it, but I promise you, I did not share it in order to go all English teacher on you. Instead, I use it to emphasize why you are seated before me this evening. You may not realize it, but your ability to achieve is deeply rooted in how you perceive yourself to be. How you perceive yourself to be is the essence of character. Character, along with scholarship, leadership, and service, is one of the requirements for NHS. But I personally believe character is the foundation of the other three. Without character, you will not have much of the others. Without character, you will not achieve ultimate success, which is what I want to explore with you for the next few minutes, character and success. To begin, I want to take you back in time. Over the course of my tenure as a teacher, I've had the privilege of working with some dynamic principals. LCN has been blessed to have the leadership of individuals who truly care about the community in which they serve. But there's one particular individual, Tom Denowith, who I want to emphasize. Mr. Denowith was one of the longest serving principals at LCN. And as such, he led many graduating classes through commencement. Each year, he concluded the commencement address essentially the same way, with the following by Frank Outlaw. Watch your thoughts, they become your words. Watch your words, they become your actions. Watch your actions, they become habits. Watch your habits, they become your character. Watch your character, it becomes your destiny. Mr. Denowith knew the value of the words penned by Frank Outlaw, as they were the very reason he was successful as a principal. He led by example. Because he had a true sense of character, he was highly respected and valued. He was highly successful. He lived those words and wanted his students to do the same. Yet, I always wondered how many of those graduates really listened, really took into consideration the potency of these words. For regardless of the success one has in life, if one compromises his or her character, or does not have a true sense of who he or she is, how valuable is the success? Another example that further emphasizes the importance of character comes from a nonfiction novel called A Father's Love. In the book, the author, David Goldman, wrote about how his young son was abducted by his wife. For 5 years, Goldman was denied his parental rights. He was denied his son. His wife, a Brazilian woman, took their son for what was to be a 2-week visit with her parents in Brazil. Once settled in Brazil, she called Goldman and essentially told him the marriage was over and that she planned to keep her son with her. Because this was an international issue, there was little Goldman could do. He was allowed to speak to his son by phone at first, but eventually Goldman's wife and her parents denied him that connection as well. Goldman made countless trips to Brazil to try and see his son and was denied each time. Goldman had every right to become angry, to become bitter, to become revengeful, given how his whole life was taken from him. But he did not do that. He did not allow negative thoughts to become his words, his actions, his habits. Goldman's ex-wife met a man from Brazil and eventually married him. While giving birth to her second child, Goldman's ex-wife died. Rather than return Goldman's son to him, the stepfather refused and raised Goldman's son as if he were his own. Goldman's former in-laws encouraged the stepfather to do so. Because Goldman's thoughts always remained with his son, and his actions always led him to pursue every means of getting him back, he finally succeeded. Through the assistance of then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and President Barack Obama, along with a host of other people, Goldman was able to bring his son home. However, not until he met some ridiculous expectations on the part of his former in-laws. Yet, when all was said and done, and Goldman brought his son home, he permitted his son to continue his relationships with his grandparents, the same people who were partially responsible for denying Goldman of his relationship with his son for 5 years. One would think Goldman was successful, for he was able to reunite with his son. As important as that is to the story, I believe the true success is what happened during the ordeal and following it. Goldman stayed true to his character. He did not allow negative thoughts to taint his words, his actions, or his habits. He remained steadfast in what was important. The only way he could do that was to remain true to his character. Character matters. Your character matters. How you react to situations matters. How you treat others matters. How you handle conflicts, minor or major, matters. Don't get me wrong, you can achieve success by cheating, by manipulating, and hurting others. But would you do that to yourself? Remember the question I asked at the beginning of my speech? Are you the type of person with whom you would like to spend the rest of your life? If so, would you cheat yourself, hurt yourself, deceive yourself? Most likely not, at least not intentionally. Character matters. Character is the essence of why you are seated before me this evening. There are other variables too, but as I shared previously, they are heavily dependent upon on character. For instance, scholarship. Scholarship is not so much about what you achieve, it is how you go about achieving it, which is character. Leadership is not so much about being seen, it is about how you treat others. Again, character. Service is not so much about what you do, it is how you do it, which is a true reflection of your character. Success is important in life, but not as important as knowing who you are and liking who you are. For when you have that sense of self, you have a true sense of others. Treating others with respect, with forgiveness, with compassion is a part of character. It is a reflection of you. Character matters. So my hope for each of you is that you live a life of integrity like Tom Denowith. I hope when you are met with adversity, you remember what I shared about David Goldman. And like Goldman, you remain focused on what truly matters, and in the process, stay true to who you are. As Aristotle proclaimed, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. So, watch your actions. They become habits. Watch your habits. They become your character. Watch your character. It becomes your destiny. If you can do this, you have found true success. Congratulations on your achievement with NHS. Thank you.
On these evenings, Mrs. McCumber and I have done a few of these induction ceremonies. One of the things that constantly amazes us is that we have different kids every time. Our honor society is not just kids with great grades, it's not just kids that are smart. We have black belts in karate amongst us, we have tap dancers, we even have a magician amongst us, we have singers, we have a tremendous amount of talent. And we like to take a moment in this ceremony to showcase that talent. And there are a few people here that I'm very fond of, people that I will miss when they graduate, people that have done so much for me personally. And the first young man that we're going to have come out tonight it's kind of hard to explain who Jack Magic is. People kind of give, because they know him. When you hear about somebody who's a magician, it's something where it's like the amount of leadership he's shown, the amount of work he's done for us, it's hard to underestimate that. So let's have a huge round of applause for Jack Hammonds, our first performer tonight.
All right, so I know some of you know me, and I've had the pleasure of working with the National Honor Society for the past 2 years, my junior and senior year, and I just have to say I'm so appreciative to have such great advisors leading our National Honor Society. They've done such a great job the past 2 years, and this being my senior year, would you two mind helping me out with this next trick?
I don't think we have a choice, Jack.
Now, most of the time a magician pulls out a deck of cards and says, pick a card. I'm not going to do that. See, for the trick I'm going to do, it's not as much the values of the cards, but these little pieces of paper themselves. So, I'm going to start off by taking them and giving them just a mix like that. Can both of you confirm the cards are all mixed up? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give each of you 10 cards. So if you wouldn't mind, just watch, make sure I'm being as fair as I can. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Do you see 10 cards here? Fantastic. If you wouldn't mind, hold out your hand like this. Yep, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the cards and hold on to them like that. Perfect. And I'm going to show you, you're both going to do it in a second. I'm just going to kind of show you what you're doing here. So I'm going to take another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 cards. And essentially what you're going to do is you're going to hold the cards out like this, and you're going to count them, but in like a weird way, okay? Just to make sure that there's no way I could do any weird sleight of hand as you do this. So you're going to go 1, and you're going to take it, and you're going to turn it over. You can do this as well. And you're going to turn it over and put it on the bottom. We'll do 2, 3. Do you kind of get the hang of it? Fantastic. I'll take the cards, I'll put them back, hold your hand out like that, perfect, and you're going to do the same thing, counting from 3 because that's where I left off. So there's 4. All right, you can keep going. I think he's on like 7 over here, so 6.
7.
We'll give him a minute. All right, we got all 10 there? And do you have all 10 there? Fantastic. Now, you can see all the cards are mixed up. Now, for the next part, it's not the pieces of paper that matter, but it's kind of what's on them. Miss McCumber, I'm going to go through the deck of cards like that. If at any point in time I just want you to call out stop for me.
Stop.
Right there, are you sure?
Yes.
Watch, I'll cut the deck. What card did we land on? We have the 3 of diamonds here. Now, what I'm going to do is I said this trick was about the pieces of paper. Now, what's so magical about the paper themselves? Not that much. But what I'm going to do is you both counted out 10 cards. I'm going to try and get 3 cards to go from your pile into your pile over there, okay? Ready? So we don't need the rest of them, so I'll set them down just so you know I'm not doing anything weird or tricky with my hands. Watch, I want you to visualize that first one, flying through the air and landing in your pile. Don't count them just yet, because we're going to try and get all 3 to go. So there's 1.
Okay.
Watch, if I snap again, you see another one, it flies through the air, and if you imagine it just enough, it lands in your pile. You're trying to stop it, but it won't. But check this out. Watch, there's 1 more. It flies through the air, it does a bunch of 360s, and boom, lands in your hand. Watch, you both counted 10 cards, correct?
I did.
Yeah. There's 10 cards.
Check. Watch, now if 3 cards had truly flown, that means you'd have 13 and you would have 7, is that right?
Impossible.
I'm not a
What?
math major, but that sounds right.
Now watch, if you wouldn't mind, spread the cards out and kind of like this. I want you to count very openly, just so that everybody can see. Count how many cards you have left, just like that.
1,
There's 1,
2, 3,
4, 5, 6, and 7 cards in your pile. Watch, I didn't touch the cards. I gave them to you. You counted them. Watch.
There's no way.
Watch. You started off, you counted those 10 cards. You kind of went ahead of me, too. That's the thing. Watch, if you wouldn't mind, count them out loud the same way. Just count how many cards do you have?
I'm nervous. 1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 cards from one person to another. Now watch, I'll take the cards back. Because I feel like a deck of cards is kind of like that weird magician cliche, like, oh, you're a magician, do you do card tricks? I'm like, yeah. They're like, do you do anything else? I'm like, no. I'm kidding, yeah, I do. So what I'm gonna do is, do you have your phone on you? Ms. McCumber, thank you for helping me out. You may take a seat. Thank you very much. Now, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try and get in your mind. It's gonna be a little weird though. Watch. Do you have like good internet connection right now?
It's okay. I've got 2 bars.
All right. As long as we can get a.
Take a minute. I don't know. Try it.
I don't know. Go into your Google, Safari, whatever you use. Have you opened it?
Yep.
I want you to look up how many articles are in Wikipedia.
Okay.
Now.
Many articles.
All right, he's typing it. You'd be surprised how many articles are in Wikipedia because there's one for everything.
As fast as how many articles are on?
I'm happy you're actually typing it. Like my parents, they're always talking into the phone. They'd be like, how many articles are in Wikipedia? I'm like,
Okay.
I don't know.
I got it.
You got it?
I got it.
Watch. Here's what we're gonna do. It's okay if I see your phone, don't worry. Here's what I want you to do. I'm gonna scroll down a little. We'll click there. Now, I don't want to touch your phone from there. I just want you to see that's like the Wikipedia page. It says like how many articles are in Wikipedia and all that stuff. It has a bunch of other useless information. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open my calculator for a second. Can you tell me how many articles are on Wikipedia?
5,837,988.
5 mil, so that's almost 6 million articles on Wikipedia. Now, if you scroll down a little, it'll tell you like how many words are per article. Do you see that now? All right, how many words are per article?
1,240.
1,240 equals, that's over 7 billion words in Wikipedia. Over 7 billion. It's crazy, right? Of course some of them are gonna repeat, but it just shows you that there's a lot of different words. Now, if you wouldn't mind, click the little visit Wikipedia thing. Have you done that? Now, if you look in the upper right-hand corner, is that right? There's like a little magnifying glass.
Yeah.
I want you to search a Wikipedia article on anything you want. Don't do it on Germany, because you're a German teacher. That's kind of a cliche. Watch, search something else, something that maybe I wouldn't suspect.
Okay, there's no way you're
There's
gonna
5 million articles.
Okay,
You can
there's
type.
no way. There is no way you will get this.
That's not what we're going for, but that would be really cool. Have you searched it?
I didn't know if I was supposed to. Okay, search.
You click search. Once the article loads, let me know.
Okay.
It has?
Hold on, let me slow search. Let's get more specific. That was too easy. Okay, we got it.
You got it?
Yep. No way.
Now, watch. Are there any pictures on the page?
There is.
There is?
There is.
There is? Okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to scroll through and find like a word that's maybe a little longer. Maybe like 6 or 7 letters.
Okay.
You have one? It's a little longer of a word. Okay, I want you to think of the first letter of this word.
Okay.
Does it by any chance start with a C? The word you're thinking of. Does it start with a C?
It does.
It does? Okay.
Like, this is really gonna get
Think of this word for a second. I think I have it. For the first time, what word are you thinking of?
Should I tell you?
Yeah,
Constantly.
that's exactly what I wrote, constantly. But check this out, check this out. You're also thinking, you also searched something, is that right? You searched something, there's no way I could know what you searched. There's no way, I want you to think of it. And think about it, over 7 billion words you could have chosen. Over 7 billion words. Check this out, ready? Think of this place. You searched the place, is that right? See, it's funny because this isn't a place I'm very familiar with. For the first time, what place are you thinking of? What place did you search?
I grew up in a very small town up north called Sheboygan, Michigan, right? Of all places.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy because I actually wrote down Sheboygan. I'm pretty sure I spelled it wrong, honestly. But I did? Awesome! But there's no way I could have known that, right? I just like to get in people's head. Thank you very much for helping me out with this trip tonight.
this. Okay, our next performer, is one of the sweetest kids we have at High School North. This kid will go out of her way, like you ask her for anything, she'll be the first person to smile on her face, no problem, Miss Drechtel. Outstanding performer, we're gonna miss her very much. Let's give it up for Kyra Jefferson, who's gonna sing for us.
But it can't complete. Listen to the sound from deep within. It's only beginning to find release. Oh, the time has come for my dreams to be heard. They will not be pushed aside and worked into your own, all 'cause you won't listen.
Responsibility and dependability, and I pride myself. Usually, I'm like the first person somewhere when we have an event or anything. I have a problem where I arrive too early, and I got here really early for this event. And these two young men were already here practicing. I don't know what time they got here, but you talk about dependability and reliability. We have two young men that are going to perform for us tonight. We have Adam Kasimovich on piano and Anthony Sikowski on trumpet. If you guys could come on up, let's give them a huge round of applause. get to work with these kids every day at High School North. And you might say, well, you know, my kid can't play piano like that or sing like that or really read someone's mind like that. But every single one of these kids has something like that. And we get that opportunity to see those glimpses of talent that are remarkable in every single one of these kids. We have a few people that are going to come up and talk tonight. These kids are the leaders of the leaders. They are our officers of National Honor Society. And what they're going to do is they're going to talk through some of the basic tenets of what National Honor Society is. And what they're going to do, and National Honor Societies throughout the country do this, is they light a candle symbolizing each one of these. And the final candle is going to symbolize National Honor Society in total. And so let's go ahead, and I bet you can tell, you can read my mind who's going to come up here. Let's give it up for Jack Hammonds.
Hello everyone, my name is Jack Hammonds, and for the past year I've served as the National Honor Society Treasurer. As the years have gone on, we are constantly faced with challenges that can tend to break us down. As most would think it would be easier just to go along with this group that sits before us exemplify the trait of leadership by going above and beyond to be a leader in our school and community. Leaders don't only lead the way for others, but work to create positive change. They dedicate their time to serve others and so much more. I believe a friend of mine put it best when he said, leadership is undefined. There's no concrete definition of leadership. You have leaders in the front leading the way for others, but you also have those in the back that may be helping anybody struggling to find the way. Leadership is a diverse trait that allows for people to be leaders in various ways. Leadership is not a skill that you are born with, rather it is learned from experiences. Whether it be facing adversity in a difficult situation or taking charge to organize a group or team. For me, leadership has been a part of my life all throughout high school and some years before as well. One of my favorite quotes is, "A leader is someone who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way." This means we don't just sit around and boss others, but we work to accomplish goals and light the way for others to succeed as well. As student leaders, we are dedicated to the service of others, not to benefit ourselves, but those around us. Now after tonight, you are all official National Honor Society members, so I challenge you to know the way, to go the way, and show the way for others. As I finish, I would like to share one more quote from a friend of mine. He said, "When people tell you that you are the leaders of tomorrow, politely tell them they are wrong and correct them by saying you are already the leaders of today." Now I will light the candle that represents leadership. Thank you.
Alright, hello everyone. My name is Alex Banka, and I've been the historian for National Honor Society. Strong character to me is one of the most important pillars of the National Honor Society, and each one of you emulate this. This attribute binds us together as a group and helps us to create a sense of community. If it wasn't for individual character, we wouldn't be able to do the amazing things that we do, such as hosting events and mentoring young children. To be a part of this group, each one of you have been able to show that your own character will be able to play an essential role in our honor society. All of you have something in common, and that is that you have all of leadership characteristics and the motivation to help. Yet each and every one of you stands out as unique individuals with your own personal character. And you now have the responsibility to take your character and use it to benefit others. I hope that as your time in the National Honor Society progresses, you all find that opportunity to express your own personal character for the better. You all have something special about you that separates you from the person sitting next to you. Show your peers what you truly are, and strive to let your character better our community. Thank you all for joining our Honor Society, and I hope that you will embrace your character and build off of others to better our group in the future.
Hello, I'm Jane Imperatori, and I'm National Honor Society's parliamentarian. The pillar I will be speaking to you about is service. Service is doing work for someone else, often for the greater good. Here at NHS, a huge part of what we do is give back to our community. Serving our community allows us, as young adults, to make a significant positive impact on the environment that surrounds us. It is clear that you all do many extracurricular activities and make school a priority, so taking time out of your busy schedules to help the community shows how deeply altruistic you are as individuals. The service National Honor Society does is mutually beneficial. The work we do helps many people in the community, and you genuinely have a good time doing it. Through NHS-sponsored events, you get the opportunity to bond with other NHS members while making a difference in your community. Some of my favorite events have been a movie night while making blankets for the homeless, passing out candy at Atwood Elementary's Trunk or Treat, and the blood drive, because you get to miss class. Service is a prominent part of NHS, and we are so excited for you all to be a part of this organization. We appreciate your dedication to filling this role, and we value your eagerness to join our group. Congratulations. I will now light a candle to represent service.
Hello, my name is Kara Jefferson and I am the Secretary of the National Honor Society. The last pillar out of the four is scholarship. Scholarship has many different definitions, but to the NHS, scholarship is defined as a commitment to learning. It means you are willing to chip away at the pre-existing notions you already have in order to open your minds to make room to learn more than what you thought you already knew. It means you are willing to spend not only your time here at L'Anse Creuse High School North academically achieving the best that you can, but your time afterwards, because many people believe that education only ends with the end of life. It means you are willing to put in the effort to not just get the highest grades, but to also gain knowledge that you can use to ameliorate the lives of those around you, because we do not limit ourselves nor our knowledge to our schoolwork. Instead, we go above and beyond the small confines of our classroom to outside in our communities. The willingness and the ability to achieve high academically paired with the desire to continue learning sets you apart from everyone else, and is one of the many reasons you are all here tonight. So without further ado, thank you for your commitment to not only scholarship, but also to the other pillars, character, leadership, and service. I hope you continue to exemplify these qualities and maybe even inspire others around you to do the same. The National Honor Society commends you for your hard work and your dedication to scholarship. Congratulations. I will now be lighting the candle for scholarship and NHS as a whole.
Moment that the parents have been waiting for, so patient. We have parents, we have grandparents, your special someones might be out there. We have aunts, we have uncles, we have cousins. Who knows? There's a lot of people out there that support you. You couldn't have gotten to this spot without them. However, we had this wonderful opportunity. We got to read the applications, where we got to read that each one of you has something very special about them. Right, so what we're going to do in a second is we're going to have you guys stand up. I have some helpers that are going to come down, and it's important that you stay in alphabetical order, because what we're going to do is have you circle around the side here, and you're going to come across the stage, and there's an important moment. This is what you've been waiting for the last, I don't know, 55 minutes, however long we've been here. That in this moment, you get your moment. We're going to walk across the stage. You're going to shake the hands of some very important people up here, people that I respect and admire tremendously. My friend Mrs. McCumber is going to give you this certificate that I suggest you promptly give to your parents after this so it doesn't get bent, because they're gonna get, I'll make you a new one if it gets bent, by the way, it's real easy. And then I'm gonna see you at the end, and we're gonna shake your hands. But as you cross the stage, they're gonna say your name, and what we've done is we've gone through your applications, and we found one thing that we would like to say about you from your applications that we think makes you stand out from amongst the rest, and every single one of you has something that we thought was very interesting. So what we'll have is my friends here will kind of help you, and we'll have you loop around, and we'll get ready to go, and then we'll go ahead and give you your certificates as you cross the stage. So you guys can go ahead, and that first row can stand up, and you can take them around to the side there. Okay?
Alright, so we're gonna start off with Jessica Allen. We're not starting. Jessica Allen has won bronze and silver awards in the Girl Scouts. Joanna Alexander, who was a volleyball captain's assistant. Faith Andrzejewski, who is a captain of Crankit volleyball team. Alana Artino, who is a member of the JROTC program. Ashton Artino, who participates in school plays. Olivia Adia, who participates in dance at Pankow and Gotta Dance Dance Studios. Dakota Bartel, who is a youth group leader. Alyssa Banka, who's a student council member and also my sister. Adam Barron, who's a part of the Link Crew A team. Isabel Balland, who is a part of the marching band. Taylor Bilbrew, who is on the varsity cheer team. Falcon Bojsic, who has done more than 36 hours for the National Art Honor Society. Ty Brass, who is an assistant science Olympiad coach. Avery Brown, who received all academic for girls swim. Skylar Burden, who achieved Life Scout rank for Boy Scouts. Jacob Catalina, who is a section leader for the tuba section for marching band. Noah Catalina, who is ranked in the top 5 of his class. Michael Caverly, who scored 23 points in the Christmas tournament for boys basketball. Nadia Kreis, who is a member of the LCN choir. Mia Chikaloas, who helped with the yearbook picture taking at Green Elementary. Emily Clayton, who was on the LCN girls varsity soccer team. Grace Willett, who taught younger kids how to tumble at the Chesterfield Chargers cheer camp. Reese Cook, who dances competitively at Spotlight Dance Works. And Justin Cope, who is a first-string linebacker for our varsity football team.
Lucas Zarnecki has participated in Blessings in a Backpack Drive. Daniela Del Greco is on MST Leadership Council. Lena Dorr is team captain for Crankit Volleyball. Jenna Dowell volunteers at Figure Skating Academy. Allie Dewerbush dances competitively. Kelsey Duffy has been on varsity basketball since 9th grade. Evie Dunnigan volunteers at Enchanted Princess Ball. Taylor Fanning is a camp counselor at Camp Invention. Kaylin Philby writes for LCN North Star newspaper. Jillian Fitzgerald is in Key Club. Sydney Force has been on varsity track since 9th grade. Jared Geddes was in my Link Crew group and is now on the Link Crew A team. Anna Hazenleader is a figure skater on the Macomb United figure skating team. Alina Hamilton is a volleyball camp mentor. Olivia Hayes volunteered at the Special Olympics. Hunter Hill is in Mu Alpha Theta. Justin Jahiniak is the head coach at Science Olympiad. Alexa Janis has participated in Jeans for Teens. Armaya Jefferson is a part of her church dance team. Bianca Kaji played a dynamite in this year's musical Hairspray. Carolyn Carl has 5 Division I solos and ensemble ratings. Brooklyn Kelly is a mentor for our school's incoming freshman to marching band. Alexis Kroll did percussion for this year's pit orchestra and Hairspray.
Maddie Krawcheck is an assistant martial arts instructor. Gavin Llewellyn is a senior patrol leader for Boy Scouts. Darius Love was a poet for this year's Black History Month performance. Brianne Lowe, all-county swimmer and on girls' swim team. Annie McLeod, captain of basketball team. Chloe May works at the Anton Art Center. Emily McHaney played Little Inez in Hairspray. Grace McHugh reads to the homeless. Aaliyah McIntosh is, on Student Advisory Board. Emily McLaughlin helps package food for the homeless. Jordan Media plays cricket volleyball. Mila Matovsky is a MAC Blue champion for girls varsity golf. Jacob Mascarello volunteers at Henry Ford Hospital. Zachary Mascarello is part of the American Polish Country Club. Khadija Moshood is member of the Science National Honor Society. Lauren Moweed volunteers at Capuchin Soup Kitchen. Amelia Osachuk received a Scholastic Award for photography. Paris Pagano volunteers at Gleaner's Food Bank. Viviana Palmer does volunteer work for Meals on Wheels. Caitlin Papper received Young Marine of the Year. Lauren Paris babysits for special needs children. Emma Patras enjoys teaching tennis to younger children. Christopher Pereno is part of the boys varsity soccer team. Colin Perriott was a veterinarian's assistant at Dine Veterinary Hospital.
Maddie Pugliano is part of the LCN Photography Club. Bella Ramsey has been a Special Olympics volunteer. Abby Reeder has 73.5 hours of community service. Allison Renaud takes beautiful photos in the photo club. Olivia Repshes is a member of the Michigan Thespian Troupe.
Grandma.
Mackenzie Roa donates clothes once a month to the Vietnam Veterans of America. Allison Schlatt is a recipient of the MST Achievement Award. Grace Schneider is a student council class president. Daniel Scully is a member of the Boy Scouts of America. Connor Sheridan is a member of the National Science Honor Society. Rachel Shear is on the Student Advisory Board member. Riley Swijek is captain of the JV volleyball team. Michael Sconey had a lead role in the Richmond Schools Community Theater. Xandria Smith is a member of her church youth group. Choir, I'm sorry. Kirsten Tabakini is a student council class secretary. Nejra Terzik is a member of the National Art Honor Society. Alexandria Thomas is a member of the MST Leadership Council. Hope Tisdale is a member of the LC Winter Guard. Christina Trotter is a member of the Link Crew A-Team. Kaylee Ulbrich received the award for most digits of pi memorized. Trevor Van Acker is a member of the LCN bowling team. Mackenzie Victory is a lead group in fingerprint analysis. Nicolo Viviano is assistant captain for the AA Mavericks hockey team. Tyler Waters has made blankets for the homeless. Allison Williams is the team captain for the school volleyball and travel volleyball. Isaac Zelenek is a member of our school's trumpet choir. Isabella Zelenek is a member of our winter drumline and has attended states.
Sometimes teachers and sometimes parents like to make a big deal out of certain moments, right? It takes a long time to get here. It takes a lot of support to get here, a lot of moments to get to this spot. And so we like to make a big deal out of this. And this is where the kids might roll their eyes, but this is important to me. And I hope it's important to you because this goes way back and there's something to be said about history that with National Honor Societies throughout the country, they say this pledge at the end. And the pledge is optional, but I'd like you to say it if you want to. And we're going to stand up in a second. This is a promise to us. And we're going to make a promise to you that we're going to do everything we can to help you become successful adults. And you're pretty far down the path to success already. And this is going to be your promise to us that as part of this group that the expectations are high. And expectations are something that, we don't want to put on anybody that can't handle them, but you guys certainly can. So what we'd like you to do right now is we're all going to stand up and we're going to say this pledge. Are you guys ready? Just the kids. Well, I had a parent do it one time with us, and that's okay, but we're going to have just the kids do it. So kids, come on, let's stand up. Now, this is harder than it sounds to say this pledge after me because, you got to listen carefully. Some of the lines are long. You got to remember the words from the beginning of the line by the time you get to the end. Are you guys ready? Yeah. I heard like one person say yes. Are you guys ready? Yeah. Oh, wow. They must have a lot of homework to do after this, so we got to hurry this up. They're like, I've got 5 more problems to go. Are you guys ready? Okay, say this after me. I pledge to maintain high scholarship standing. To endeavor intelligently. And courageously to be a leader. to give of myself freely, in service to others, and to hold as fundamental and worthy, an untarnished character. In so doing, I shall prove myself worthy of a place in the National Honor Society. Congratulations. You guys can have a seat. I have the privilege of saying the last words of the induction ceremony. And I had a mom out there that I'm friends with, and her daughter is here tonight, and she said to me, she said, "What time is this thing gonna end?" She said, "We had soccer. And I stopped listening at that point, but she made a list of all the different things. And I can stop listening because we're friends. And I told her 8:10. I want you to look at your watches right now. It's 8:10. That gives me about 25 minutes to talk before anybody really wants to cut the mic off. But I have some things I would like to say to this group and to the parents here. Because I'm a parent, and I have 2 kids. And we're in the business of kids. We see a lot of kids come in and out of this place. We see good kids. We see kids that, have a little work to do still. These kids that you have here, you guys have high expectations of them, right? They come home and you see, we see the best side of these kids. They go home and you see the tears sometimes. You see the frustration, you see the problems. And then sometimes they come to school, they don't show any of that to us. They show off their talents. They show off how responsible they are. They're the kids that you depend on. We have some members here tonight sitting in the back. I don't know if you can see them. They're members of our Honor Society that gave up their evening tonight to come and help at this event, which we greatly appreciate. As a parent, when you have high expectations, sometimes you don't stop and take that moment to say, wow, look what happened, right? We put all this work into it. And what happens is you keep moving that bar, right? That what happens is you have this expectation of what you want, and then the kids reach it, and then you move the expectations more and more, and you want to challenge your kids continuously. I would like everybody here just to take a second, right? And I know you guys are worried about your homework. You want to return those texts. You want to go home. I don't know what you guys do, but you're going to leave here, and you have something that's important to you that you have to go to. But just to pause that for a second. And parents, pause your thoughts for a second, too, and just say, well, wow, we have a school of almost 2,000 kids, and we have a group of less than 100 here tonight that are being inducted in the National Honor Society. That does not happen on accident. That happens with what I would say is continuous support, intentional support, planned support, things that you have done for these kids down the line. So I'd like to say thank you on behalf of High School North, that we have quite a few students come through this place, and we would like to say thank you for the support that you've given your school. Thank you for the support that you've given your kids. To the grandparents here tonight, raise your hand if you're a grandparent and you came out tonight. I can see you right in the front there. I was talking to one of the grandparents who was here, and I said, do you want to come up on stage and talk? And she said, I can. And that's how much support she was going to give. I don't know whose grandma that is, but she was willing to come up on stage and give the speech for you tonight. So let's have just the kids. Give a huge round of applause for your parents and grandparents and everybody here too. So to that mom I was talking to, I apologize, it's 8:13. I hope that 3 minutes was okay to take. Thank you to the kids. We'll be in contact with you as far as your responsibilities to our group. We look forward to seeing all the things. We hope that you're up here on stage at some point, doing your magic, singing your songs, playing your piano, giving your speeches. We look forward to that. On behalf of our staff, thank you. Have a wonderful evening. We appreciate it. Have a great night. Drive safely. Thank you.